Hello, Taurus! Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Morgan Greer Tarot, supportive oracle cards, energy oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Yep. Okay, good. Already shuffled. Let's go ahead and get your cards out here and see what we have. Ooh, that's a good one for Taurus. Okay. Yeah, this is going to go good for you. All right, so there's like a mixed blessing coming in. Definitely a mixed blessing. When this situation is starting off, patience is usually that's really a strong suit for Earth, especially Taurus, in my opinion. Kind of like, working through it, keeping at it, doing a little bit, keeping going, waiting it out. You seem to be very, very good at that, stereotypically. And you got patience with the Sun card here. Things are going slowly, but things are progressing at a reasonable rate, and they're pretty dependable, fairly dependable. So as long as they keep progressing, and you know how it's going, you can kind of plan ahead, like, all right, it's not happening as quick as I want to, but it is making progress. And as long as we're still getting better, at some point it will hit the point that I want it to be at. It will hit the right stage. So patience is your thing. I'm getting like patience. Usually it's stereotypical for Taurus. I know. So not every Taurus will be patient. You got me there. Very true. But normally Taurus is very patient. Now, you're also kind of like holding very strong, pushing forward, not letting things backslide. You're very, very careful, but you're watching very closely. And you're kind of like, I'm not going to say anything to make somebody feel like they can slack off. So I don't want to give too much of a compliment here, because I don't want to feel like I don't want to give them the impression that like they're doing good enough they can start lacking off a little bit. I don't want that. But if they do seem to like start backing off on the progress, I'm going to kind of push ahead and try to keep it going. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on it that way. It's good. At this point, it's good. Something changes in the environment, though. Something that's been moving forward slowly, very minimal progress, but still moving forward, that you're comfortable with. The door to happiness, is it personal happiness? The door to personal healing and happiness shows up along with the world. The world coming in is talking about a change or things going into another phase. That's, no matter what deck the world is in, that's how it always feels to me. Like it's going into a whole new phase, a whole new situation. So something that's been progressing and you were very comfortable with and very happy with, because it was still going the way it was supposed to, all of a sudden somebody makes a complete change and the situation takes a 180. It's almost like you were listening to easy listening music and all of a sudden like a really fast rock song pops on. It's kind of like the whole rhythm has just changed. Now, it's kind of like the music has changed, but there's still music playing. So we kind of want to look at it in that sense. Whatever the progress was, whatever the situation did not completely change, but the way it's being handled, you know what I mean? Going from a slow song to a very fast, upbeat song, like the tempo is completely changed. And the way things are handled is completely changed all of a sudden. Now, this isn't really your idea of the right thing to do. You don't like this quick change. You don't like things being reconstructed in the middle of a situation. Like, you don't get halfway through making a cake and decide, instead of making angel food, I'm going to make devil's food. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a totally different cake. What are you doing? I know they both say they both have food in the title, but they're completely different. Completely different. What are we doing here? That's the Ten of Swords for you. I don't like that this is happening. I don't like we're making this abrupt change, that we're doing things so differently out of the blue. The Nine of Wands, though, is saying, even though that's happening, I'm not letting this take down the situation. I'm still going to have my success. I'm still going to have this progress. I'm not going to let this sink the ship. I don't like the changes, correct, but I'm not going to let it destroy the situation. That's you with the Nine of Wands. We're still going to keep going forward. Things have changed. I don't like it, but I'm not going to give up on the progress. We're going to keep going forward. That creates this Healer of the Ages energy. Like, the situation is still moving forward. This might be a very rough moment for you, but you're doing very well with it. Healer of the Ages is telling me everything is going to keep going. Everything is going to go very well. The fact that you're able to keep going is going to make the situation flourish in a very positive and possibly healing way. It is a healing card, not for nothing. When this comes in the environment, victory, blossoming abundance, like, the changes are really benefiting the situation. Do you like the way it's happening? No. Is it very much suiting the situation? Yes. That's the Healer of the Ages too popping in there. Kind of like, you're understanding it's best for the situation. You really don't like it. That Ten of Swords is like, you don't like it. But you're realizing it's for the best. All right, then we're going to do it. I'm going to hold my ground. We're going to make this work. It doesn't feel right to me, but it's working out. It's going to make things happen. Double benefit card here, like victory and abundance. Like, they're saying this is really working out. This is also giving this environment or this situation the opportunity to make new choices going forward. Somebody seems to be owning the situation, realizing that they're the owner of their own fate. They have to decide if they're going to fail or if they're going to succeed. You're there. You seem to be connected to the situation, almost like a guide or trying to help it move forward. But somebody else has to decide for themselves. Will they pass or will they fail? It's on them totally. You're helping them, you're guiding them, and I think this is what we're finally getting to. Your energy towards this situation is guiding or helping or supporting. But whoever this person is, they have to commit, left or right, pass or fail. Whatever they commit to is what the outcome will be. They do come to you for advice. They got the thinking man between you and them that's talking things out, that's a meeting of the minds. We also have the Knight of Rods. The Knight of Rods, this fire and earth don't usually match very well. Not usually. If you have like a fiery moon or a fiery rising sign, you probably can deal with it fairly well. But even then, it does seem to create a little bit of conflict. Somebody's coming forward. They're asking you questions. They're asking you what they think you think you should be done. The thing is, they're looking to make quick changes. The Knight of Rods is fire. That's quick. That's fast. Fast changes. Fast changes. I feel like when you're explaining what you would do next, you're also saying, I would make gradual changes. I would test these changes. I would make sure that they could hold water. I'd make sure this works out. I wouldn't just make willy-nilly quick. You're like, I wouldn't snap, change. I would do a little bit of this, see how it works out. Goes well, great. Add a little more, see how that works out. Going good, great. Keep going. That's how I would do it. That's how the Taurus energy feels for me. When I'm feeling this energy coming towards you, it's like, well, no, we're going to go from 0 to 60. Just tell me what you think should be done, and I'll make it happen, and we'll just jump right in to the deep end, and we're either going to sink or swim, and I've decided we're going to swim, so let's just make it happen. It's a hard conversation, only in the sense of, like, the timing is just, the fast motion is kind of like, you know what, I prefer we test this and make sure it works before we go crazy. And the energy you're coming up with is like, nope, doing it all at once, all today, all right now. We're going to build that house, we're going to start at sun up, and we're going to finish it before sundown. You watch, we're going to get it all done. And you're like, what? You're like, that doesn't sound rational. Yep, we're going to do it that way. You're heavily influencing this. It's a weird, I feel like it's a stressful conversation a little bit for you. Again, because the outcome and how to do it, that you like that. The rate at which it happens and the way it happens, maybe not so much. This is creating the death card in the environment. Changes are happening quick. Somebody's making an about face and they're looking to make success. They're owning it. They're deciding they will own it. They're going to own their own success. They know that if they're really going to have success in this situation, having you as a backup, having you as somebody to guide them and help them is great, but they have to be the ones setting the tempo, and they do. They move forward they take your advice to heart. Whatever you tell them, they do take it to heart, but I feel like they're doing it at their own speed. The Three of Pentacles coming in with the 6th chakra, which is the third eye chakra. They see this working out, but they have to make this plan themselves. They have to put it together themselves. They are doing that. Your supportive energy here is kind of like, I feel like you're not as heavily involved as you usually are. You're kind of taking a back seat, kind of because it's seeming a little bit hectic to you. You're kind of like, I don't really know if I like how this is happening. Again, you like where it's going, but the way it's happening is a little uncomfortable. So you might just kind of like hold back a little bit and just see how it goes. Kind of like, maybe I'll just stay back here and see if something needs somebody to catch it quick, and then I'll just step in and fix things where I need to. You're a little nervous. Rest and rejuvenation. I can't even say it. The energy is so fast, it's like making me nervous. I think it is making you nervous, is why you're pulling back and you're just keeping yourself together, and you're just kind of like, if my energy is needed, I will apply it where necessary. I will keep an oversight on the whole thing, and I will just catch the small things that seem to be slipping through the cracks. You seem to be a very all-encompassing, like, let me watch everything at once because this is going too fast, and if something seems like it's going to fall over or not work, I'll go towards that and fix it, and then I'll return here and I'll just keep an eye out over the whole situation. The Lover's card is on your side with the Ace of Swords. You're communicating also kind of like, okay, I see where you're going really fast, but let's remember, the basement has to settle. Like, I know you want to build this house in one day, but you really got to let that settle and dry. You can't build on wet cement. You can't build on wet cement. you just can't. You can't build on wet cement. And you might have, that might be your Ace of Swords every now and then saying, I understand you want to do this all in one day. But there's certain things that they just demand time. If you try to build on that wet cement, you're gonna waste your energy. You're gonna make a mess. You're gonna make a catastrophe. Don't do that. Okay. You're overseeing everything. You are getting this person to slow down where it has to happen. Like, you're pointing out, like, I know you want to go quickly. This literally, you can't build on wet cement. You have to wait for it to dry. So they will listen to you, and they're like, oh, well, all right, you're right. So all right, well, we'll have it built in 2 days then. Okay, and you're like, oh, for the love of Pete. So you're just going with it. There's a lot of respect between you and this other person. The woman holding a heart is, to me, talking about a lot of mutual respect. A lot of, like, seeing the value in each other, caring about what each person thinks and feels. The other person, whoever you're dealing with, they have the Knight of Swords, which is like they're taking the information and they're absorbing it and they're implementing it. They're absorbing it and they're taking it and putting it, spinning it the way they want it to, and they're implementing it. It's going back and forth. It's going very well. The tempo is a little off for you. It's just, it feels a little strange, but it is going very well. Where the ending of this is very good, especially for you. Judgment, happy family, which is usually the Ten of Cups, and attachment. This is in the environment. The situation does work out. They are happy with it, but something about the attachment is like, they might need to slow up a little more again. They might need to do things at a little slower tempo. But they might have, like, they might be a little bit too goal-oriented. How do I say this? Like, I just want to get it done. I just want to get it done. I just want to get it done. That type of energy, they might be too quick to just get it done, instead of, like, I want to get it done right. Like, it should be, I want to get it done right. But instead, it's being overlaid with the, I just want to get it done. But it needs to be, that attitude needs to be replaced with, I want to get it done correctly. I want to get it done so it lasts. I want to get it done so I can be happy with it years from now. Something like that. The attachment in the environment is like, they're very happy and things are going well, but I feel like you might have to keep coaching this person, kind of like, you want to look back at what you've done and be proud of what you've done and realize it's going to last. You don't want to just get it done, get it off your plate, and then realize a while later, like, it's not quite right, and kind of like not really want to look at it because you know you should have done some things that you didn't. Maybe you cut some corners that you shouldn't have. So they might need your help and a little bit of heads up, kind of like getting it done just to get rid of it is one thing, but when you're going to have to look back and see everything you've done and keep looking at it, and you look back and you're like, I wish I took more time with that because it would have been done right, and now every time I look at that, I see where I cut a corner and I shouldn't have cut a corner. You might have to kind of help them with that. You've got the Knight of Pentacles with the woman holding a coin. Don't get caught up in the gender, but what I'm getting here, especially got male and female here, by the way. You keep advising this person and remind them. You don't want to get this done just to get rid of it. You want to get this done in a way where you can look back on it and be like, I did that and I did a good job with it and it's going to last. And I'm happy with what I did. That's the biggest thing with this, because I feel like you might have to help them edit their plan. When I see adjacent possibilities, this is the last card for this reading, you might have to help them keep seeing different ways of doing things. The attachment is saying it's going to be hard for them to look at it in a different way, but just keep reminding them. You want to look back and be proud of what you've done and that it's going to last the test of time. You don't want to look back and be like, oh, I should not have cut that corner. I should not have done it that way. If I had just done it this way, like I know I should have, if I didn't cut that corner, it would have been so much better now. That's what you got to remind them. They want to be able to look back and be proud of what they've done and be like, this is going to last the test of time. I keep saying it the same way, and it feels right when I'm saying it. I feel like Taurus will understand, like Taurus or whoever you are, if you're really connecting to this reading, I feel like you'll understand it, but it's like conveying it over to the other side. Like, you want to do things in a very careful way so you can look back and be proud of what you've done. So you know you did it right and it's going to last. But it's the way you communicate that over to where it really makes sense, because I feel like it's hard for this other person to see it that way. They're like, no, I just want to get it done. It'll be fine. It doesn't matter. I won't care. Let's just get it done. But the thing is, they will. They will care down the road, and they'll look back and be like, oh, if I just hadn't cut that corner, this would have been a better situation. This would have been more stable. It's almost like when somebody's making like a back deck, and they put it up really quickly, and say it can only hold like 1,500 pounds. It's not even that strong. But they're like, oh, there's only going to be 2 or 3 people on it, so it's not that big a deal. We're not going to put anything on it anyway. Then a couple years pass by, more people want to join in, and people are hanging out on the back porch. They start getting up to 2,000 pounds on the back porch, and they're like realizing things are starting to buckle. This isn't very safe anymore. And they're like, oh, if I just took the time and did it correctly, it would have easily supported the weight it needed to. But now I have to start either have to A, rebuild it, B, reinforce it somehow, C, move things somewhere else, D, like they're going to have to find a different way to handle the situation, because it's going to implode. If they had just done it right to begin with and took the time to do it right just to begin with, they wouldn't have that problem. And that's what I feel like you have to convey to them. If you do it right the first time, you won't end up later with regrets. Like, if I had just done everything the way I was supposed to, I wouldn't be in this quagmire later on down the road. I'm going to let it go, because I feel like for the people that's supposed to make sense to, I feel like you already know what I mean by that. It's just about conveying it to the other side. Like, you do it right the first time so you can look back and be happy, and like it works and you don't have to keep fixing it. That's all. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.